and welcome to Quincy in Focus, Quincy Access TV's news magazine show. My name is Jonathan Kaleri, and I'm the Executive Director here at Quincy Access TV. Leading off this edition, Quincy Asian Resources recently sponsored a rally on Hancock Adams Common to stop anti-Asian hate. Local leaders, elected officials, and individuals came together to voice their support for Asian residents.
And we're here today to show our solidarity for our brothers and sisters. And we stand together and to say as one voice that we are one community. Also, we are here today to mourn the Asian American victims recently murdered or attacked in horrific incidents in Atlanta, San Francisco, Los Angeles, New York cities, and other cities across the country.
This city's been a gateway city, a welcoming city for over 100 years. The faces have changed, but about a third of our population for 100 years continues to be immigrants. And we're blessed for that. We're a better community for that. I think we could be a model for this country in so many ways. The investment we make in education, investment we make in our parks and the quality of life issues that matter to every resident of our city. So I'm proud to stand here with our Asian brothers and sisters and really denounce any of these issues going across our country. There's so much more that brings us together as a people. We're all part of the same human family. We've got to learn that. We've got to come together as Americans and share that common ground that we know and we love. So I thank you for being here this morning, and I'm proud to stand with my colleagues in Quincy Asian Resources to say no to hate, no to violence.
People often mistake racism as an issue of money and status. Take it from a guy who's a state representative who knows that is not true. Being an elected official does not immune me from the hatred that we live in this world today. It doesn't matter if you're a waiter, a computer scientist, a store manager. You may have some money, you may have no money, you may be very wealthy. None of that matters. You may be Korean, you may be Chinese, Filipino, Vietnamese, Cambodian, Burmese, Laotian, Hmong. That doesn't matter either, because we all look the same. And hatred has no bounds, because all of us are vulnerable. The society we live around us isolates us. As has been pointed out, we're perpetual foreigners, but we're not. We came here, or my parents came here to find a better life. And those of us who are born here, are reminded that you're not born here, and the pain that's associated with that. And when you speak, no one listens, but you get blamed for not speaking. Those who know me knows I have a bit of a mouth, and I've been speaking loudly for decades. But again, it's our fault, we're too silent. Well, that's a farce. We've been told you can't win, but here I stand. We've been told that it's our responsibility to have us learn English, us to assimilate, us to become more American. How dare they? How dare them to tell me I'm not American? You all know what I'm saying, because I can hear the silence. You know what my words mean.
When only a small group spoke out against slavery, it was John Quincy Adams. And just to think about where he came from, what he believed in, and again, in the shadow of the Church of Presidents, to hear the words of Representative Jackie Chan, who has been repeatedly reelected in the city of Quincy to represent all of us at the Massachusetts State House.
An Asian American Solidarity Rally was sponsored by Quincy for Transformative Change and recently held on the steps of the United First Parish Church in Quincy Center. Individuals spoke about their experiences of racism and how we also must rally around each other for support and condemn racist acts.
We owe much of the foundation that allows for people in my own community to speak out today to the solidarity movements built by both people in other communities and our own. Young people in particular feeling powerless, facing the economic and environmental devastation that is our inheritance, have found a voice by acting together to take a critical lens to our relationships with structures of power and how they create the circumstances that we take for granted in our lives. We realize we have the ability to demand change and accountability from our institutions and our representatives.
My name is Kat Hampson. I live in North Quincy, and there are two places in North Quincy that keep me grounded. The first is Massachusetts Hummock. It's at the head of Quincy Shore Drive in Squantum, and the land predates the city of Quincy itself. And it is sacred. It's a historical seat of power, and I'm reminded that the Massachusetts peoples are the ancestral keepers of this land. Ironically, this was also where someone passing by in a car yelled at me, "Go back to your country, you bleeping bleep." And before you tell me he couldn't possibly have been from Quincy, his Quincy bumper stickers said it all. And I thought, how ironic that this person had the audacity to tell me that I did not belong, as if he had a rightful claim to this sacred land, and I did not. And this is the violent lie of white supremacy, that somehow whiteness calls the shots about who and who does not belong.
I grew up in Taiwan, where my Han Chinese ethnicity is the privileged majority. Social structures and institutions cater to us. But since coming to the US, I've had to learn how being Asian American is death by 1,000 cuts. I am POC. I am other. And because of that, I have to be careful in the ways that I present myself and interact with other people. It's not something that people are born knowing or something they are fated to be. It is learned, and in the right environment, it can be altered and unlearned as well. Becoming aware of how my own race is viewed in this country has also made me more aware of America's racial dynamics in general. I want everyone, white and BIPOC, to be able to enjoy the same privileges, rights, respect, and dignity. That's what I work towards as a member and organizer for Quincy for Transformative Change.
And so I ask for all of you today, all of you, if you don't have a creative art which you feel like is yours, which you can use and you feel confident in your ability to use to translate your experience into something that is transferable, cultivate that art. Everybody has the capacity to do this, and if we all do, cultivate our own voices, then our voice, collectively, our voice will become something powerful which we can lift up and use to make change, meaningful change, lasting change, transformative change in our society, both within and beyond the legislative realm. Do it today. Thank you.
High school athletes have gone through a school year like no other. From shortened seasons, canceled games, and mandatory mask wearing, it's been tough to get out onto the field. The high school football season, which started in March and ended in April, was no exception. However, the Presidents and Raiders were able to meet yet again on the gridiron to continue their crosstown rivalry that is one of the best in the nation. Let's take a look at some of the highlights of Thanksgiving football in April.
But it'll be interesting to see how that affects the game today in any event.
All right, Thomas Mario will kick it away to begin the game here for North Quincy, and it's picked up by the Presidents. And nice run back here so far for Quincy. Gabriel Rodriguez, the freshman for the Presidents. So it was a gain of 4, second down and 6 down for the Presidents. Beretti back to pass. First pass is complete over to Matt Kelly. Nice catch there by Kelly. He gets the first down and more across midfield and gets tackled at about the North Quincy 44. Opening drive of the game. Second down and 10 for the Presidents. And Beretti's going to keep it himself wide open down the middle of the field, crosses the 20-yard line. It finally gets brought down at the 19. Great run there by Drew Beretti.
Got to tell you something. There was a tremendous...
4 now for the Presidents. Drew Beretti back in the game at quarterback. Matthew Kelly goes to the left in the slot. Again, 4th and 4. Beretti looking to pass. over to the left side, and it is incomplete. Was looking to find Isaiah Steinberg in the flat, but nice defense there by North Quincy. And it'll be
Right side of the Quincy defense.
2nd and 5 for the Raiders. Hines again on the carry. Springs free up the middle. Cuts back over to the side and will finally get brought down. But a nice run there by Liam Hines all the way up to the 42-yard line.
They were hurt by one in their first possession. Let's see what they do with this penalty on the second possession.
All right, 1st and 10 for North Quincy. Liam Hines gets the pitch over to the left side. Crosses the 30 and makes one man miss and makes another man miss and picks up an extra 3 or 4 yards because of it. And will get all the way up to about the 16-yard line.
Left guard. Sam Accazzini, another junior. They're two big guys, and right now they've been really controlling that left side, Quincy's right side, for Liam Hines. And there he goes again, same direction.
Hines up the
spins.
middle, steps, and will go into the end zone. Great run there by Liam Hines. Kept his feet moving, and will go into the end zone for the touchdown. Looked like he was getting some help.
All right.
Good selling point for our website.
Yeah,
there, Jim.
there you go. Bedtime stories with Jim Timmons, QATV Sports. All right, the Red Raiders get down the field and cover that kickoff. Now, let's see what happens here.
3rd and 8 for the Presidents. Just under 2 minutes to go now here in the second quarter. Kelly looking to pass down to the left sideline, and it is complete. And a big first down for North Quincy. It's complete to Ciro Mora, all the way up to the North Quincy 25-yard line.
Let's see here. That has not been a fertile place for the Quincy running game, so they're going to start to look outside again, we're sure. They've got a 4-receiver set again, John, for Kelly.
2nd down and 12. Kelly passes over the middle, and it is complete to number 85, Clayton Corley. And that'll be enough for a first down, and Quincy calls a timeout quickly.
Yeah, it looks like a running.
Steinberg gets the ball, and he's going to be stopped short of the goal line, it looks like. Actually, last-minute effort, and they're going to mark him down at the 1-yard line in the second quarter.
Okay, now they have Kelly right under center. They've been going with shotgun, but he's right under center this time.
All right, Kelly, ball comes loose, and North Quincy's recovered it. You can see Kelly, Jim, he was starting to run in before he really had control of the ball.
Stop this drive here at the 30.
And Cooper Hansen, the quarterback for North Quincy, looking to pass down the middle of the field. It's Colm Gary. He's open, and he's going to go in for the touchdown.
Great call and great execution. What a terrific pass by Hansen. Gary running a little seam when the seniors getting opportunities at the next level.
2nd and goal from the 5 now for North Quincy. Hines with the ball up the middle, and will go into the end zone for the touchdown. Liam Hines punches it in from 5 yards out. Cleaner Greener Quincy was welcomed back with open arms in 2021 after being forced to cancel in 2020 due to the pandemic. Citizens, groups, and organizations took to their local parks, beaches, schools, and favorite green spaces to clean and spruce up. Thanks to great weather and the desire to escape the house, turnout was high around the city.
Cleaner, greener, Squatchum!
Cleaner, greener, Quincy! This is one of my favorite events. It's families, the whole school community, teachers, assistant principal, guidance, the whole families, parents, students, all come and work together to make Parker look great. We really missed it last year, so we have a little more work to do, but I think it's going to look great.
My name is Janet Barger. I'm with Montclair School. I teach here. And our club, the Montclair Monarch Garden Club, with support from the Wollaston Garden Club, is working today and all through the month of May to beautify our school grounds.
We want to thank all the community members who've come down to Cleaner Greener. We have a lot of Squantum families here, a lot of North Quincy families here. We have some staff members and their families here. And I really appreciate all the work and the effort that people are putting in. Our school's going to look really good.
Hi, I'm Alex Navarre, and I'm here today because, it's good to plant more trees and to help the environment because there's a lot of litter and people we are just helping the environment and to make Earth be happy because this is not just your planet, it's our planet, it's everyone's planet too.
QATV member William DeMonte, aka Jazzy Bill, brings us our next segment featuring the Mighty Quinn and a head-shaving fundraiser and Cancer Awareness Day that was held at Pageant Field in Quincy. Music from local bands, food trucks, and plenty of fun were on hand to raise funds for Mighty Quinn's battle against cancer.
It's a great joy to be with all of you here today. Looking at all of you and hearing so many stories and witnessing your love and joy for Quinny and for his family, I couldn't help to think of the power of faith, family, and friendship. I feel this is a demonstration of what the power of faith, the power of family, and the power of friendship can do to anybody and for anybody.
Busted flat memories, waiting for a train, and I'm feeling near as faded as mountains. Bobby thumbed a diesel down just before it rained, and rode us all the way to New Orleans. Now I pull my hood out in my dirty red bandana, I was playing soft for Bobby's and the blues, yeah. Windshield wipers every time I was holding Bobby's hand in mine. You would sing every song that drive you. It was just another word, oh, nothing left to lose. Give me nothing up today to free. You know, feeling good was easy, Lord. It was hanging blues. You know, feeling good is good enough for me. Good enough for me and my Bobby. Kentucky cold night to the California sun. Let Bobby share the secrets of my soul. You all kinds of weather, you everything we've done. And Bobby, baby, keep me from the cold. One day I miss the last heart, I let him slip away. He was looking for that home, and now hope he can find it. And I trade all my tomorrows for a day of yesterday. Holding Bobby's body next to mine. Freedom's just another word, oh, nothing left to lose. When it's all that Bobby left me, yeah. You know, feeling good was easy, Lord, when it was time to blues. You know, feeling good was good enough for me. Good enough for me and my Bobby McGee. Da da da, da da da, da da da, da da da, da da Bobby McGee. Da 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 da, da da da, da 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 da, Bobby McGee. No na 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 na, no na 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 na. Hey, no Bobby, no Bobby McGee. No na 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 na, no na 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 na. Hey, no Bobby, no Bobby McGee. Now we call him my lover, call him my man, and I call him my lover. Just let you know, he's a Bobby, no, he's a Bobby McGee. Lord, 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 hey, hey, hey,
The City of Quincy, in collaboration with the Neponset River Watershed Association, held a special virtual Earth Day event about the importance of stormwater management, water pollution, and information about water quality improvement projects here in the city. The day featured Julie Sullivan, environmental scientist of the Department of Natural Resources for the City of Quincy, and special guest speaker Patrick Hogan of the Neponset River Watershed Association.
Welcome, everybody, and happy Earth Day. Really glad to be here talking to you all today. And the topic that I wanted to kind of touch on is something that obviously I work with a lot. And it's something that, especially in our area, has such a wide-reaching impact on our environment. So I thought it was a really appropriate topic for today. And that's stormwater. It might be something you've heard of before. It might be something you've never thought of. It tends to be the kind of thing you don't think about until there's a problem. So regardless, hopefully you leave today with a little bit more knowledge about it. I want to start off by just kind of covering what it is in case anybody's unfamiliar with it at all. And then I want to talk about a few of the issues that it presents. Stormwater itself generally is all right, but there's a lot of stuff associated with it and the management of it that can create problems, both for us and also environmentally. Then I've got a few tips on things that we can do ourselves in our day-to-day lives that will really help these issues, help alleviate these issues. Because we all know it's like anything else. We can make big sweeping actions, but if we all make the tiny little changes in our day-to-day, that has the most profound impact on anything like this. So I've got a bunch of tips for that sort of stuff. And then finally, I want to fill you in on some of the stuff that the city of Quincy is doing for stormwater, because they've really been doing a great job and have been sort of seeking their own solutions to these issues. So I want to talk to you about that a little bit. So let's just jump right on into it. And what is stormwater? Well, the simplest way I can put it is stormwater is precipitation that lands on impervious surfaces and runs off. Impervious surfaces, when I say that, I mean any surface where water can't soak in. So I'm not talking about our lawns. I'm talking about our streets, our driveways, our sidewalks, our roofs, stuff like that, where the water can't soak in and it has to run off somewhere. The big thing I want to point out is that I said precipitation. I did not say rain. So often with this stuff, we have a tendency to think of rain because it immediately becomes stormwater, right? It hits the road, it runs off. It's immediately stormwater. But especially where we live, we have to consider snow melt as well, because as that snow melts, it is also stormwater, and it's also going to apply to everything else I have to say today. So it's running off. Where does it go now? This cartoon sort of illustrates it. It generally, in most areas around here, it will run to the storm drain system or the storm sewer system. You'll hear it termed both ways. This cartoon kind of illustrates that. Water will run off these impervious surfaces, go into an inlet. That's what those brown boxes are. And those inlets are connected to a network of pipes that send the flow directly to the nearest waterway. And that's it. It just sends it to the nearest waterway. It's that simple. The big thing is that there's no filtration and no treatment whatsoever on that flow at any point throughout this process. So that will really kind of play into what we talk about here with some issues. So if you see something going in a drain, you might as well figure it's going into the creek because there's nothing generally in between it to stop it. Here I've thrown in some pictures just to sort of bring that cartoon to life for us. On the left is an inlet. You'll see them in all kinds of different shapes and sizes. A lot of them will be grates like that. Sometimes it's just an opening in the curbing. Like I say, pretty much anything that you see, particularly in a roadway, that is open and collecting the free flow of water is most likely the storm drain system.
Maria Dross Counseling Services of Quincy recently held a virtual fundraiser right here in the QATV studios to help continue their mission to offer low-cost mental health services for their clients. The fundraiser was hosted by Ayla Brown and featured music by Maria Dross' own Megan Earl, comedy from Lenny Clark, and fashion design by David Joseph.
Our mission began back in 1992 by the Sisters of the Good Shepherd, and it's really simple to reduce the cost of mental health and make it affordable for people. And so nearly 30 years later, the staff, just 5 full-time staff and 25 part-time counselors, interns, and volunteers. What you just saw on the TV is a handful of us, and there's more. And so today, because of the pandemic, we've seen a record number of clients, 6,000 clients in the past 12 months. The Good Shepherd lived compassion, and you see all the hearts around us. It's the heart of Maria Drost, it's the heart of the Good Shepherd Sisters, and we live that today. It's a value that we all have and we carry forward. And that's why we have such wonderful folks here helping us out tonight, because they get what we do. We thank our donors and our sponsors. They understand, and they're part of the Maria Drost family. So,
good evening. My name is Laurie Anderson, and I am the daughter of the late Steve DeRoche, in whose love and memory to which tonight's fundraiser is being dedicated. I would like to thank Maria Drost Counseling Services and its board for honoring my dad's memory tonight, as I know he would be so very humbled, yet so very proud. My dad passed away in January from complications due to the COVID-19 coronavirus. While his sudden passing has left an unfillable void in the lives and hearts of all those who knew and loved him, his legacy and memory will continue on through our lives, our words, and our actions.
When I called Maria Drost Counseling Services, they said it was no problem, that they offered a sliding scale. For years, they allowed me to come to weekly sessions for only $10 an hour. To them, it was more important that I receive the services that I needed. I was set up with a wonderful therapist who is trained in trauma, and I cannot explain how much I have benefited from all my time with her and with another therapist who I eventually transitioned to.
Talking about mental health, it is something that a lot of people struggle with, and no matter what age you are too, from young elementary school all the way up to older folks. So it is time to donate. You have had that opportunity throughout the entire night.
And darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Stand by me. Whenever you're in trouble, baby, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Stand by me.
Yes.
You can donate whatever you want to help beautiful people, and thank you.
Yes, MariaDrostCounseling.com. Please, MariaDrostCounseling.com. All of the information, of course, you can find at the bottom of the screen, or just if you go to their website, you can donate. It doesn't have to be part of the silent auction, which there are a lot of great gifts that you can bid on till tomorrow.
And the silent auction, you don't have to be silent about it. You can really just scream all you want.
Absolutely.
Look at those.
Thank you guys so much. Have a wonderful night. God bless.
Everybody. Thanks, Ellen. Thank you.
That's all for this edition of Quincy in Focus. On our next episode, look forward to highlights of graduation ceremonies for Quincy College, Quincy High School, and North Quincy High School. Also have highlights from the 70th Annual City of Quincy Flag Day Parade too. If you'd like more information about Quincy Access Television or interested in becoming a member, visit our website at qatv.org or give us a call at 617-376-1440. My name is Jonathan Caleri, and thanks for watching this edition of Quincy in Focus.